what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mount the rack up here and get the first 2 down, and then I'll drill pilot holes for the second 2. Okay, what I've done is I've installed our rack, and I've also put the 110 for our telephone service. That's gonna be up on the top, and the patch panel, it's a 24 port patch panel, is gonna be on the bottom. And then after I get these wired in, I'm gonna be putting a switch in here, so that way they could do their networking. And at the very bottom, we're gonna put a shelf to rest some other pieces of equipment, for example, their modem, and if they in their Juniper firewall. My data cables, and I've got them marked. So one I've got going to data 1, and data 1 I'm going to punch the port 1 on the patch panel. Well, I'm punching it down to 568B, so that way both sides are the same. And by the way, it's all right here for me. All right, I've just punched down the first data jack in accordance with the way they want it done. They want D1 to be on port 1, so that's what we've done. All right, we just dropped in 4 more Cat5 lines, 2 for phone and 2 for the data. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm starting here, and I'm gonna loop all these through, so that way dial tone's gonna be carried through all the jacks. All right, line 1 is looped now. All 4 lines looped, so if you have the ability to have all 4 numbers throughout the entire place for your 4 phone jacks that you have. Okay, this right here is the 66 block from Quest service, and I'm tying it into all 4 of the jacks. Right here we have the Quest 66 block that has our dial tone on it. So we're going to bring the dial tone in and bring it up to our 110 blocks, which go to all the jacks. So what I'm doing is I'm tying in all four pairs for future use. They only have 1 number now, but if we're here, we may as well just do it once and not have to worry about having a second trip. This is the trip UPS. And then we'll start plugging everything in. We're gonna hook the Juniper up to the modem. First thing I'm gonna do is go into 00 on the Juniper and hook it up to any of the ports on the modem will work, but I always like to go to 1. And then we're gonna run from 02 on the Juniper up to port 19 on the switch. The Juniper now is hooked up to the switch, and all we have left to do is put in our patch cords. When we looked at the diagram previously, when we were doing installs like this, they were looping the DSL line through all 4 phone jacks. It was coming from here, going all through all the phone jacks, hitting a 5th 110 punch down, and then from there it was going to the patch panel. So that seemed like it was a little over-engineered, and to me, it didn't make a lot of sense because we're going through 4 different jacks in order to have a dedicated DSL line. So what I did is underneath where the Quest service comes in, there's a DSL filter here. I took that straight off that DSL filter and ran into my own jack. My own jack goes to the DSL modem, and I bypassed all that other unnecessary wiring.